Good afternoon to everyone. It's a moment of great privilege and honor for me to extend a hearty welcome to all of you today at this national level webinar on Enlightening the Minds of Prospective Teachers, organized by Tamilnadu Teacher Education University, Center for Civil Services and TNPSC Coaching. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. N.Ramakrishnan sir, Registrar, Controller, all HODs, and all assistant professors who are all supports of Tamilnadu Teacher Education University. I extend my gratitude to my honorable guide, Dr.N.Ramakrishnan sir, member Syndicate, Professor&Head, Department of Education and Technology, and also program coordinator of this webinar. Welcome you, sir. It's my great pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. Welcome you, ma'am. It's a great pleasure and honor to welcome our resource person, Dr.N.Ramakrishnan ma'am, Assistant Professor, Faculty Education, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute. Welcome you, ma'am. Once again, I welcome you all for the national level webinar on Enlightening the Minds of Prospective Teachers. May I invite Anuradha ma'am to take over the session.
Revati, am I audible?
Yes, I'm audible, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor to be here with you today virtually for this national webinar on enlightening the minds of prospective teachers. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other. I feel happy and privileged to make a gratitudinal note for giving me an opportunity to host the session under Tamilnadu Teacher Education University. On behalf of Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, I take this opportunity to thank Honorable Professor Dr. Panjanathan, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. V.Anuradha, Registrar, Professor Dr. Govindan, Controller of Examination, Dr. N.Ramakrishnan, Coordinator, heads from various departments of Tamilnadu Teacher Education University, and faculty members who has rendered their technical support for this session. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable President, to Dr. K. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. M.Ramakrishnan Institute, for her continued motivation and support. Only the very best people in any field will take the time and make the sacrifice to come for a webinar like this. I'm so happy to address you all today. Can you share the PPT?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Guys, I think you will really enjoy the session by spending together this evening. And this is not going to be a session which is going to be a serious lecture where you will be taking notes with notepad and pen. Just feel free and relaxed to just pay attention that I would like to share with you some of the most important ideas that will help you in your career gained out of my experience. I hope you all might have heard these words from the basketball coach, Pat Riley. If you are not getting better, you are getting worse. So my dear friends, let us enrich our knowledge by updating in the areas of your subjects of what you teach and identify the method which will work out better. As a language teacher, we rarely use the blackboard, but for a science and subject teacher, science and mathematics teacher, you have to use the blackboard along with the interaction with the students by questioning them constantly to make the class interesting. The first day to your class will be your signature day. That is, you have to set a trend to the students. And you should be punctual to the class, that is 5 minutes in advance, and greet them with a smile. Ask them how do they do. Give the instructions that you wish to, that you expect from the students till the end of this academic year. So you give the instructions like do's and don'ts, not to use mobile phones and not to talk among themselves unless they are asked, and to take notes during the lecture. If the assignment is given, please check the assignment and make comments individually without fail, and compliment every now and then. Listen to what they are trying to say. Have a sound knowledge about what you are going to teach. Now let us begin the session with a tongue twister. See, first impression is the best impression, guys. And when you enter the first class in your career, set a trend that this is you, this is your signature. So set a trend to the first class, and you can never get a second chance to make a first impression. So create a great impression on your first class. Now let me start with the session with the tongue twister. That will be quite interesting. Participants kindly. Jagadish and Jayanti, could you please mute your microphone? Next slide, please. The first impression is the best impression which you will create in your class. You never get a second chance to make the first impression. So guys, plan well that you have to give a good impression towards your students, that you are the best teacher they are going to have the current academic year. So let me start with the tongue twister. So this is the mantra I have in my hand. To start with the tongue twisters. Betty bought some butter. The butter was bitter. To make the bitter butter better, he bought some more better butter. So I think what this tongue twister is going to do with the webinar what we have, and I hope all might have had a great smile when I said this tongue twister. So smile is the secret. So you make them smile, and have a smile always when you address the audience, and that will give a good impression towards your students. And next slide. A smile costs nothing but means much. And guys, be focused. So you will have an aim. What is that you are going to teach, and what is that you are going to achieve in your life? So you focus on that. Don't get diverted, don't get distracted. You have a lot of things in the way to get yourself get distracted. So I would like to narrate the story of this from Mahabharata. Dronacharya gives sets an example of that Arjunan has a skill in bow and arrow. So when Duryodhana complains Dronacharya that he is partial towards Arjuna, he just calls everyone and keeps a wooden parrot on the branch of a tree and asks everyone to aim at the bird. And he calls everyone to and asks each person, what do you see, and asks them to aim that bird, and ask each and every person, and they repeat that they can see the bird and the branch and the leaves, and one points out that he may see even a mountain behind that tree. So then he finally calls Arjuna, and when Arjuna aims the bird, and Dronacharya asks Arjuna, what do you see now? Now Arjuna says that he is able to see the eye of the bird. So the focus, what is that he is going to strike? That was his vision. So Dronacharya asked him to hit So he hits the bird in the eye. So that is what we have to keep focusing on what we have to do. So dear students, teachers, please focus on what is your goal and aim, and don't get distracted in any way and by any of your friends or whatever you come across in your life. And have one or two goals, set goals, and keep moving towards it. And next slide, please. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, as a teachers, you all have to work smarter. You know the difference between hard work and smart work. So I may say a story. Once two persons was appointed to cut the woods in the forest, and they were asked to cut 10 trees. That was the schedule given to both of them. And one person started his job by 9 o'clock, and he starts cutting the wood, and he continuously cuts, and he takes a break from 12 to 1 for lunch, and then again he starts cutting without taking rest. He starts cutting, and till 5 o'clock he's been cutting, and he was not able to finish the task. And whereas the other person, he started his work by 9 o'clock, he cut the tree for 2 hours, and then he just left the place, and he disappeared where he went. And nobody knows what he where he went and what he did. And then when again after having lunch, the second person comes again, and he starts cutting the tree for 2 hours again, and he completes the task. Before even the targeted time, before even 5 o'clock, he was able to finish the task. Can anyone guess what was the reason the second person was able to cut the tree within the stipulated time? This is the smart work. What was the thing he did? Can anyone of you guess and come out with the answer for this? Guys, what was the reason the second person was able to cut the tree within the stipulated time? Yes, guys? Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I? Ma'am, he sharpened the knife and used to cut.
Yes, he sharpened the axe. So the axe, while taking rest, he was sharpening the axe, and he was able to cut the tree easily. Whereas the first one was cutting the tree continuously. As he was cutting the tree, he went tired, and the axe also went blunt. Even without sharpening the axe, he started cutting again, and he was not able to complete the. So this is what is smart work. So you have to think smartly in what way
super.
We can crack the task. Okay.
நான் சூப்பரா ஆன்சர் பண்ணேன். வெபினார்ல இவங்க ஒரு क्वेश्चन கேட்டாங்க.
Yes, mute your microphone now after answering. Yeah, this is how you will be a smart worker. The things, how smart and how quickly you can execute the task. So, and then you should be able to manage the time. No, it doesn't mean that you have to work from morning till night. So you can take rest, refresh yourself, and then you can proceed with your task. So this is what we mean by smart work. And then next slide, please. Now, how will you manage the time? See, as you all are a teacher, when you go to the class, you are supposed to plan a lesson, and where you could execute the lesson what you have prepared within the time limit. And even before that, you have to do elicitation, and then you have to ask the questions, and you have to deliver the lecture of what you have prepared, and then finally you will be asking questions, and you will review all what you have taught them, and you will give the assignment. So all these have to be scheduled in the 45 minutes. So how will you schedule? Plan and practice. So unless you practice, you will not be able to execute that. And if you are not able to complete the task within the time limit, so see that where you are going extra, and find out where you have to reduce, and see all the things have to be executed within that 45 minutes. So you have to elicit the topic, and then you have to explain the topic, then you have to question and find out whether the students understood what you have taught, and finally you should give the assignment what you are going to give for the next class, and you will give an intro about what you are going to deal with the topic to the next day. And so if you manage the time, and if you are able to manage everything, what is the benefit of time management? So you have to reduce stress. No, in case if you are not able to finish the lesson what you are scheduled, and you will be in stress that we have not completed the portions, and the exams are being scheduled, and so we have to rush the portion. So there is a lot of confusion. Instead, the stress is reduced when you are planning accordingly and executing the task, and then you can function. The function will be very effective. So if you are planned and practiced everything, you can execute that very effectively, and to increase the work output. So the output also will be an excellent one, and have more control over the job responsibility. See, if you are able to execute all the things very effectively, so you will be given more, you will give a good impression for the others also, and you play the good responsibility of your job, and helps you prioritize. Now it helps you to prioritize. So what has to be given importance and what has not to be given importance. So you will prioritize things, and then you will be able to do things in a less time. No, so you, instead of doing for 1 hour, you will be able to complete within a half an hour. So if you are planning, then you can execute well in a short time, and more quality work. So you can produce a more number of quality work when you manage this time and plan and schedule it. Helps to discipline yourself. Then if you are following all these things, automatically and obviously it will discipline yourself. So you will have a self-discipline. So this is the time what I have to do. And if you are going to plan, and if you are going to do an exercise, you schedule your time that this time will be my exercise time, and this time will be my preparation time for the class of tomorrow. So you schedule, and it is a self-discipline. So that is also more important as teachers, and making sure you deliver what is promised. So accordingly, whatever is planned, and whatever the lesson plan you have prepared, and what is the finish off all the schedules within the time limit. And if 1 week program is planned, and if that is being executed within that 1 week, then everything will be fine, and you can be an effective teacher, and you can execute without any stress. And this is how you manage the time effectively. Next slide, please. Yes, we always say that we are busy, and we are scheduled with different things, and we didn't know how to execute things and other things. So this is because of not planning. And if we plan correctly, we will be able to produce it effectively. Say if any people say that they are busy, they might have committed with numerous priorities. They might have got committed with a lot of activities, no, like planning events or some other events. They will give importance for everything, and they commit themselves, and so they get into trouble. and then again they say yes very fast without they have to think twice or thrice. If I commit myself to this task, whether I'll be able to complete it without any hurdles. So they have to think before they say yes, and keep all doors open. They keep wide all doors open, and gets a lot of disturbance, and they will not be able to complete the task within the time limit. And keeping talking about how busy they are. They waste their time by talking that they are very busy and they don't have time to complete this task, and then the other one. So they keep grumbling, and they get tensed of not completing the task, and or multitaskers. They wish to say there is a quote, no, jack of all arts and master of none. So if they get commit everywhere, so they will not be able to give a fine product. So ask for advice always. They keep telling everyone, so I'm really tensed off and I'm really busy and I didn't know what to do, and could anyone please help me to schedule the program, and how can I come out of this busy schedule? So they find it very difficult when they make themselves busy. And if they are productive, the productive people have only couple of priorities. No, they won't commit themselves to many other activities. So they give only few commitments, and they think twice before they say yes. So whether once if they are assigned to any of the tasks, they may think again and again whether they will be able to complete the task within the time limit or not. So only then they say yes. And they really close all the doors, means they really close all the doors in the sense not to get distracted by any of the outside things. And the results speak for themselves. And just because they are not distracted and disturbed anywhere, they are very productive and they can execute well, and the result, everyone will start appreciating them. And as they have committed only few things, they can concentrate more on on that particular goal and give a better output, and take real actions and get the job done. And they put their action and get that job done. They really do productive work. Instead of making themselves busy, they give the productive work. So we can say just as an empty vessel makes much noise. No, the people who does things, they will be quiet and they will show the person that through their task. They need not prove themselves by words. Instead, their deeds will speak more. So those are the people who give a productive result. And shall we move on to the next slide? Now here there is a discrimination between the ordinary people and the great people. Ordinary people merely spend time by wasting, by doing the things which is not really relevant and not important. And whereas the great people think of using it in how productive way they can use. And for example, if you are traveling by a train, some of us travel by train daily to the workplace, and I have seen many people either they stitch their new blouses. The once a tailor was traveling along with me, and I found her stitching the buttons in the shirts. So likewise, they are productive, and so they engage themselves instead of talking simply and wasting the time. And that 1 hour travel may set themselves to assign a task which can be done while traveling without wasting the time. So they are the great peoples who use the time productively. And next, Pareto's principle 80-20. Next slide, please. Pareto's principle 80/20 rule. Put your self-efforts where they will make the most difference. So here again it speaks about the priority. 80% of time is expended, whereas we get only 20% of the results. And we spend lot of time and waste merely instead, and by wasting the time we get only 20% of results, and whereas 20% of time and we get 80% of results. This is what we can compare to the same to the woodcutter, no? What I narrated now, where 80% of the time was spent by the first woodcutter, and he was able to produce only, and he was not able to complete even the task before the time scheduled. That's what he didn't think that his axe has gone blunt. He should have sharpened the axe so that it would have cut better. And that's what he might have thought, that he is working hard from the morning till the evening, and so he will be able to produce more. So, and he forgot the fact that this blunt axe will not cut the wood fast. So this is the thing he missed, and finally he was not able to produce the result. And the second one, who was able to think about what has been done, and as he found that the axe is being blunt, he took rest and he sharpened the axe, and then he started cutting after taking a rest, and even the body needs rest. So he gave enough rest, and he was able to work better when he started again. So he was able to produce 80% of the result. So this is what, so hard working and smart working again speaks. So be a smart worker, guys, and be productive, and be impressive when you teach your students. No? Give importance of what you have to tell them, and what is necessary, most important one, and not the unnecessary things. You can just give information in between regarding the newspapers and what is the news that was been given today, and all those information can be given, but still you have to stick on to your portions that has to be completed. So in between you can interact with them, and to change the boring class, you can give some stories, or you can give some tongue twisters likewise, which will create interest, and they should not doze in the class. So keep yourself smart and make your students learn things smartly. So, next slide, please. And for prioritizing, see, once a student asked a sage that they are being engaged with too many activities. That is, they have to go for a keyboard class, they have to go for a singing music class, and they have to do their homework, and they have to study for their test tomorrow. So there is a lot of work, and they are not able to manage that thing which has to be given priority. And see, for example, now you can see the slide where we have pebbles of bigger size and the small pebbles of smaller size, and then sand, and these are the things kept to be filled for both the bottles. Okay, for example, first take the bigger size of pebbles and fill the jar, and fill the jar with maximum, and you should not be able to put even one single pebble on that bottle. So fill it up first with that, and then again take the small pebbles and put it inside, and even fill that with maximum. And there won't be enough space to take this small pebbles. Fill it up with that, and then again take the sand and then fill it up. And now the space which were there, free space, will be occupied by the sand, and you can pour even water on top of it. You just fill the jar with the sand. After that, you will be you may think that you cannot do anything, you cannot add anything more than that. So if you pour water in that, even that water will be water can be filled on in that jar. Whereas if you take the sand, or if you pour the water in the bottle first, the bottle will be filled up, and if you drop a bigger size pebble in it, and the water will come out. Okay, so you have filled the maximum of water, so you cannot insert anything. The same way, if you fill the sand completely, you won't be able to fill any other thing. And the same way, if you keep adding things which cannot be fit in the second jar, so you should know which is more important, which has to be given priority, and so the exam is tomorrow, so you have to prepare your exam, and you will have a schedule of a series which you will be watching daily. So don't think about that watching movie or a series, whatever, or going out for playing, making yourself fresh can be done, but the priority has to be given for tomorrow's test. So where you will be scoring more, and then the exercise which is to be scheduled for you for your good health. So that has to be given importance. So you prioritize yourself, which is more important. So wherein you can fit in everything. See, after everything, after the important things are being scheduled, you can relax with whatever. You can watch the series or watch the movies or whatever you want, which is not very important. So it is you have to decide which is more important and which is less important. If you give importance for the one which is really important, then you will be succeeding in your life. Next slide, please. Now, yes, guys. Now coming to the 4 C's of 21st century learning. So adapt 21st century learning skills, which is very important, and they give importance for collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. And now the first one, collaboration. See, tell me, I forget; teach me, I remember; involve me, I learn. Now you might have heard about these terms by Benjamin Franklin, and who was given importance for the involvement of learning. So that is collaborative learning. So involve the students while learning. So this is what the 21st century skills remind us. So when you group the students for learning and ask them to do a task, they will discuss among themselves, they will come out with different ideas. See, if you assign a task for one student and ask them to give an answer, they will come out with one idea. Say instead, if you put them together with a group of 4 or 5 students and ask them to come out with an idea, they will come out with, each one will come out with 2 or 3 ideas. So put together it will be like 15 ideas, which can be effective one and productive one, and they will be more creative when they keep discussing. One will say a suggestion and the other one will oppose that, and he will be able to explain even that why he insists on this idea. So everything can be done, and when they are collaborative, and when they get involved in things, they learn more better and they will never forget. And when they are being grouped and assigned, they learn the communication also. Their communication skills improve. They interact. So instead, in those days, we used to only teach. No, the students will not talk. So they have to only listen. They have to take notes, and this is what we were instructing in those days. But then they have to by heart, or if they don't understand, they just by heart. And if there is any explanation, they may not remember easily. Whereas if they learn those things collaboratively, and that will be remembered forever in their lifetime. And their communication skills also improves. And here again, the creativity comes. How creative they are. So take a paper. If in case if you want the students to identify how creative they are, give them the newspaper or give them the papers or whatever it is. You give them and assign them. You have to come out with any of the origami or craft item, or do whatever you wish. Give a newspaper, ask them to do the task. You make whatever you wish. So they come out with the different ideas. Some will be doing this paper boats, and some will be doing paper cups and balls. Whatever things, their creativity will be improved. And so when they are in the group only, when they are in the team only, they will be able to give more productive. One will be giving one idea, the other one will be giving the other idea. So they will be more productive, and they can produce a lot of new things out of one paper. So this is how you can induce learning among the students. And then critical thinking, thinking out of the box. No? Now regularly we will be doing one thing, and the others will be thinking differently, and they would like to produce differently. And in that case, even again, and ask them to do something different what the others have not done. So instruct them and give them the suggestions to how they can be productive and how they can think out of the box and come out in a productive manner. And next slide, please. And you all have to remember that these 4 C's could help you in the 21st century learning. And in those days, it was really teacher-centered curriculum, and nowadays the curriculum has been framed based on the learning-centered curriculum, learner-centered curriculum. Next slide, please. Revati. Yes, now be a learner. Always teachers are the learners. You all know every day things are being changed, and you all have to adapt that, and you all have to enrich the knowledge of how things are being changed. No, now, for example, you can take the situation during this pandemic. So we never expected. All of us were talking about the 21st century skills, that technically the classes and everything, and all the teachers should adapt technical use more technical products or technical apps to teach them, new apps that has been developed and that has to be taught in the class. But it's not fortunate. We don't know whether it is fortunate or unfortunate. We all have updated our knowledge towards this technically sound. We are, I think we are little bit or somewhat, we have enriched our knowledge towards technically. and how we are able to create a Google Classroom, and how we are able to create the Google Forms, and taking attendance, and assigning the assignments through online. Everything has come online nowadays, and so the nature has created. I'm getting an echo. So nature has made us learn everything digitally. No, now we are. I guess all of us have gained digital knowledge during this pandemic situation, where we were able to teach them and online. And there are a number of courses available, and all the institutions are giving online free courses for teachers to enrich their knowledge and to update their knowledge. So I guess you all students have to enrich yourself to and upgrade your knowledge by applying for all those online courses and enrich your knowledge, and which will be of greater help, and you will be seen unique for the students. You will be in a different way if you are sound in technical knowledge. So I guess the teachers have to be technically sound and be productive, and prioritizing what is more important and in what way they have to teach, and apply for all the online courses, whatever is available, and which will help you. No, don't select everyone at a time, every course at a time. Select one or two which will really help you in teaching and upgrade your knowledge through that. Swayam portal and NPTEL courses are available, a lot of courses, so that you can apply for it and enrich your knowledge. So the teachers are always the learners. The students, they learn and search a profession, and they go, but the teachers are still learners in upgrading their knowledge always. So and then the next slide, please. The influence of a good teacher can never be erased. So this is what we have to create in the minds of students. So for which I can say a story. Once a student, he has been placed in a good reputed company, and he comes back to his village to meet his yes, he comes back to his village to meet his teacher, and he goes, finds a person in the classroom, and he goes and wishes him, and he says, "Sir, do you remember me?" And the master says that, "Oh, okay, I don't remember exactly your face, but I guess you are my old student." And for which the student says that the name. Then he says that, "I am so and so, and of this year batch." And then he tells, "Do you remember my face now?" And again the master says that, "No, I don't remember exactly what." And then the student again says, "Sir, I was the person who stole a pen from my neighbor, and I was and you didn't punish me. Now do you remember me?" For that the master says that, yeah, I remember that incident, but I still don't remember the face." And the person was really shocked. "Sir, how can you forget my face when you are the person who found, you gave the idea that the one who was stolen the pen, please come and leave it on my table." So I left on your table, and don't you remember even now? And then the master says that, see, I didn't want to know the person who stole the pen. So it is obvious that if something new, the children will tend to have it for themselves. So that was the mindset you had when you were young. And so I didn't want to know who you were, and I didn't want to punish you also, and I don't want to reveal who the person has stolen and for the other students, which will create a bad name on you. So what we decided is, I tied all the eyes, including mine, not to see who has stolen the pen. Because if I know that the pen was stolen by you, that may reflect when I meet you again. So I may punish you, or I may say something, and it may create a bad impression on you. So I didn't want to see your face also, and I don't want to see who has stolen, and I don't want to punish them also. When they realize, they will not repeat the mistakes again. So that was the secret I used, and I didn't know, and I didn't see who was stolen, so I was not able to see your face. So the person who came said that, so you are the role model, sir, the way you dealt the incident. So where I have stolen the pen and I was not punished and I was not humiliated by the others, so that made me to become a great teacher. Now I stand in front of you, and I am thankful for having such a great teacher like you, and you motivated and you inspired me to become a great teacher, and I am a great teacher of today now. So this is how you all have to create an impression, and you all should be a role model for the others, that you have to create a trend, and you have to set a goal for them, and you should help them in their goal, and you should give a signature for everyone that you are so and so, and you should be a great inspiration in future. Thank you, guys. I hope you all will be inspiring and motivating teacher in future. So let me finish off with a tongue twister again. If you understand, say understand. If you don't understand, say don't understand. If you don't understand and say understand, how can I understand that you understand? Thank you. Thank you everyone for this wonderful opportunity rendered to me. It's really a blessing for me that it happened to me to address before you for this webinar. Thank you for the team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Revati.
Participants, if you have any queries, please post it in the chat box.
So the students, if you have any queries, you can ask.
No questions.
Okay. Shall we wind up?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, shall I conclude, ma'am?
Yes.
It's my privilege to have been asked to purpose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I thank our eminent resource person, Dr. Anuradha ma'am, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Dr. M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute. Your presence and gentle words are a source of encouragement for all of us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's a privilege and pleasure.
And I would like to sincere thanks to Dr. Geeta ma'am, Principal Faculty of Education, Dr. M.G.R. Educational and Research Institution for their graceful support.
Thank you, everyone. Shall I see Revati?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.